we would see the numbers drop real dramatically, so that's a problem. So I kind of stopped doing the call-ins, and I started doing it and also too, people instead of waiting for the after show, they were trying to log in on Skype during the interview, and just hanging out in the chat room, chatting with each other, distracting me when it had nothing to do with the show, and it was a whole big mess. So I started doing the after show solo, and my focus then was to do it, to tell people, hey, here's the shows coming up next week, here's the next guest coming up, because I would constantly be getting barraged, I still do, with these messages saying, hey, who's going to be on next week, who's going to be on next week. Okay. So, that's how we started doing the after show, I was going to tell you another story. I think I'm just going to move on. Taped a bunch of shows this week. Today I taped with the Young Jerks. They have a cannabis podcast. Fellow is Mr. Crawford. We had him on today, and these guys have been friends of the show for a long, long time. I've been chatting back and forth with him on Twitter, but this is the first time we've ever spoken live. And we did a great show about the cannabis industry and the corruption and the scandals, all kind of stuff like that. Patrick Berge, like I said, we did the show with David Wheeler. I did a show. I'm going to be playing it, by the way. I'm going to be replaying it tonight, late into the night, about the fires in Hawaii. And I interviewed this woman, Daniela, what's her name? Daniela Sophie Tao. Okay? I think that's it. Let me pull it up real quick and see if I can find it, because I've known her for years and years and years. She lives in Hawaii. Great. I got such computer problems, you have no idea. Are you available net? What the heck is it? Oh, I know why. I'm sorry. Anyway, so Daniela, I interviewed her, and she's there on the ground in Hawaii, and we debunked a lot of these conspiracy theories. And you can't even call them conspiracy theories. It's just this hysteria. Daniela Sophie Tao, and she's been working 24 hours a day since the fires hit, because she's like a big social media person in Hawaii, and she has the 808 viral Instagram, and she has a group on Facebook and stuff like that for all this disaster relief. So she and just so passionate, and so you could just tell she was just exhausted, and just a credible guest too, man, talking about just the nuts and bolts of what's going on down there, and none of this kind of hysteria that you're seeing on the internet with these pictures from 10 years ago about rocket launches and meteors and stuff. So that's Hawaii. CIA off campus. I did an interview with this woman from the Rhode Island University about how the dean of the university during the Iraq War went to go work for the CIA. And then they found out about this, and they started looking into how much the CIA was embedded in that college. And as you know, I've been working on this thing where this college student guy, turns out, was highly connected with the National Security Agency, and how the National Security Agency is so deeply embedded in the University of Maryland. I just stumbled on that, man. And it's just, incredible. But with the CIA on campus in just this one school in Rhode Island, they had a workshop at the college where the CIA was training these kids to make furniture and hide listening devices in the furniture. Then they had a private company across the street nearby from the college where the kids would go intern over there, and they'd work over there, and they're going back and forth over there, where they were training these kids to make phony documents and counterfeit money. Incredible interview. Okay, we get a lot of stuff out there. Another one is University of Buffalo. I spotted this the professor over there teaching this course in espionage. CIA off campus, Celtic Boys Club. We had a fellow come back, Mr. Henderson. I think Peter Henderson is his name. He runs a podcast focused only on the Celtic Boys Club. That's the Scottish soccer team over there. that was molesting all the boys systemically for like 20, 30 years. Christian Cipollini, dope man. Tomorrow I'm going to be interviewing Barrett Brown. Barrett Brown posted a message the other day. If you know, he's like an exile because he's facing charges over here because of his work with WikiLeaks and Anonymous and stuff like that. And really interesting guy, Barrett Brown. And so he posted the other day, he says, hey, any journalists out there want an exclusive on this information I want to put out there. And I contacted him right away and I said, listen, Barrett, man, you can come on the show anytime you want. It doesn't have to be exclusive or not exclusive. I believe this is going to be exclusive. I have no idea what he's going to share with us, but I think it's something very important. So I'm going to be taping with him tomorrow. And if it's that important, we'll put it up right away. We'll put it up on Patreon right away. Maybe we'll put up in the new $50 section. Okay, maybe we'll do that. And then J.J. Vance came back, and we had him on talking about the Idaho 4 murders. So we had him back to talk about these Indian burial mounds that you find all over the place. And I got a bunch of them. I visited some of these in Florida, and I'm fascinated by them. So we did an hour with him, but about 45 minutes were about the burial mounds, and about another 15 minutes was about back to the Idaho 4 case. Okay, we had a historic week. Oh no, don't tell me these notes are all messed up. Okay, the major project, we talked about that. Oh, yeah. Well, okay, if we have time at the end, I got a funny story for you. The guy sent me this top secret. The audio keeps dropping? I can't refresh. There's no way to refresh. I would have to stop the whole show. I don't know, man. There's really nothing I can do. I might be, it looks like, well, probably the recording is probably good. It's probably just the broadcasting part. So hopefully the recording will be okay because the meters all look cool. I hope not. I hope we're not having another problem here. Oh, yeah, if we have time at the end, I'll tell you a funny story. The guy sent me a top secret chat log okay, about me. Okay. This guy, I'll tell you at the end if we have time. There was a couple of former guests of mine who they're really their only thing they've ever done in their life is be a guest on the show, and they're interviewing each other. Okay, and God, who only knows what they're talking about. But it turns out that after their interview, one of them interviewed the other. I'm not sure which, but the only way they know each other is through me. There was a chat conversation entirely about me with the two hosts, and I guess there are 3 or 4 guests, listeners they had going into this it had to be more than 2 hours. I couldn't even read the whole thing, and it's about me. But they're just sitting there talking about me and just getting everything wrong, man. Like one thing after another. These people think that they're researchers. They think they're investigators, and they're pulling up addresses. Like if I had an ex-girlfriend and we had a card together, a credit card, and or I co-signed a car loan for her or something like that, then her address shows up with my address, and they think I lived over there. They're such amateurs, man. I have no idea what they're doing. Speaking of amateurs, did you know that in this historic indictment? Oh, let's go to the title of the show. Let's go to the title of the show. The way things are set up here right now, I normally have my notes on the big computer, but I got them on my laptop right now, so I'm kind of like switching back and forth. It's kind of difficult to keep my notes, but the title of the show is I was chatting with Obama this week, and I had a chat with Obama this week, and I managed to get myself in a little chat room with Obama, and I asked him, hey, do you want to do an interview on the show? Can I get you to come on the show? And he agreed to come on the show, but he wants $3,500 to come on the show. Okay? Obama. And then he contacted me again after that. He contacted me again after he wanted $10,000. Okay? To come on the show and tell me some information he has about Elon Musk. Now, I know what you're thinking, that this wasn't Barack Obama, the president. This was Malik Obama, Barack Obama's brother from Kenya, who popped up out of nowhere. He's back. Yeah, crowdfund to our. Where do you go? Yeah, so and Malik Obama, I see him on Twitter, and I contact him. He says he wants $3,500 to come on the show. You know, and then you start seeing, you know, the pictures of him. He's wearing a MAGA hat. You know, this guy will do anything for $3,500. He'll do anything for $2,500. He'll do anything for $1,000. I hate to say it. He wrote a book, and it's kind of funny too because we know some of the same people. We have mutual friends. I have mutual friends with Barack Obama's brother from Kenya. Okay, you know, talk about it's a small world, right? But we have some mutual friends. And I'm telling him, I says, hey, man, talk to so-and-so, man. She sold a ton of books on this show. You know, she thanks me all the time. And she's, you know, because my audience is really, they're book buyers, man. There's people who will buy, there's certain people who buy every single author, every book that comes on the show. No matter how bad the guest is, no matter how horrible they are, they buy every single book. So I'm trying to tell this guy, man, come on the show. You're going to sell books. Oh, I want $3,500. So then later on the night, I notice he's a little drunk. Oh, I don't know if he's drunk or not, but he's a little boisterous in his tweeting. You can't call it tweeting anymore, in his Xing on X over there. And so I contacted him. I said, hey, man, because he's talking about Elon Musk. And off the air, he told me he's concerned that Elon Musk is going to do some kind of harm to him. And he wants $10,000 to come on and tell that story. I thought I can get a hold of him when he was all spirited, you know, and all excited, you know, there in the middle of the night and get him to come on live. I would have broken live with Malik Obama. So anyway, we're working on that. I put him in touch with some friends of mine who have the money to pay him the $10,000 if he wants it, and maybe they worry about it themselves. I got my own things going on. Okay, so that's the title of the show. I was chatting with Obama this week, and I did. I was chatting with the president's brother. And by the way, talk about, talking about Hunter Biden shaking people down for money. Like, Malik Obama's making, this guy's going to have a handgun and a mask shortly. The way this guy's shaking down for money. Okay, by the way, do you know in this historic indictment, do you know that one of the people charged in this indictment is, I bet you probably don't even know this, is Kanye West's Ye, they call him now, Kanye Ye, West Jesus. His ex-publicist is one of the people named in this indictment. And the reason they named her, this is the one in Georgia, and the reason is she's on a police body cam threatening a poll worker, trying to get this poll worker to confess to some kind of misbehavior. And the poll worker, and she's harassing this poor poll worker at her work and at her home. And she says, okay, I'll talk to you, but let's meet at the police station. So they got a cop with a body cam, and this woman, Kanye West's former publicist, is telling her, well, I can't tell you what's going to happen to you. But if you don't cooperate with us, your freedom will end. We're going to kidnap you, you know? And she had a couple of thugs with her, too. And the thugs have been arrested, too, as well, and indicted in this scheme. Incredible. Huge indictment came out in Georgia. 19 people. One of them is Jenna Ellis, who I've become a little bit friendly with on Twitter. But I got to tell you, man, they won't deserve it. Came out today. If you're watching the news, it's all over the news now. Oh no, I hope these are the right notes. I got a feeling they're not. Yeah, I got a feeling. Yep, most of my notes are gone. Yeah, most of the notes are gone. Yeah, that sucks. And I would have to log in on this other computer to find them because they're in the draft box. Well, that's okay. I pretty much know what I want to talk about. That sucks though, man. Because it's pretty important. There was a group that came out today on Twitter and posted some videos of Alex Jones on January 6th. And with him is that fellow Cheeseborough. Let me see if I can find this. Capitol Hunters is the name of the Twitter group. Okay, and Kenneth Cheesebro is the one who was, I think he was indicted.